Industrial revolution means in 17th and 18th century, England, France set up in the new machinery factories, uh, works, and also new industries were set up by intellectuals. Invention of some materials, discovery of hand looms, power looms, and steam engine, and shipbuilding industry, iron, coal, uranium. So these all are was set up in the new industrialization was started in the by England in 18th, 17th, and 18th century. So industrial revolution. What is the main cause? Intellectuality, scientific knowledge. When was started? That is a way to set up the new factories and industrialization. Man-made works, manufacturing of foods, textile, and other making of different type of goods, all are done by the machinery works. Then consequences of industrial revolution, market was created. The European countries are spread to worldwide for the market purpose to gaining the profit of industrialization and to sell the products to attract the many and to set up their colonies in the different parts of the world. This all colonialization was started after industrialization. So industrialization before only colonization was started, but to speed up the colonialization and imperialism, like England, France, Germany was they spread to all over the world to control the companies, to control the markets in the world. So that is a industrialization. So iron industry, textile industries, and different uh, manufacturing units were started. The politically first powerful countries in the world, the England and Spain, Portugal, was started. I told already that the 15th century only discovery of sea routes was done, like Vasco da Gama, Columbus, Magellan. That. So that is the main reason to spread the where the natural resources are there, where the raw materials, the searching of raw materials, and to set up the new industries. This all one by one growth development was done. So the intellectual knowledge after spreading the industrialization and colonization, imperialism, and competition among the European countries to dominate the markets in the world. So the part of that only, or India also to become a colony of British. Indonesia is a colony of Dutch and Holland, and French colonies in Morocco, Algeria in Africa. So like this, many countries. So England is England is upper hand in the international trade and business at the time because shipbuilding industry is a more uh, um, advantage to the England. Then after that, shipbuilding industry was spread to other countries also. So like that, mostly the industrial revolution was take place. That is an black one third topic. The next we going to uh, block two era of revolutions and national movements. Briefly, I am explain this. What are the revolution was taken place in India and in the world. So we industrial revolution was explained it. So in the manufacturing sector, more companies, new things, new material, scientific knowledge, machines introduced, power generation, uh, engineering and technology. This all was taken place in that. That is the industrial. The change was great. Change was in the society in industrial manufacturing units. That's called as the industrial revolution. Now, the revolution is the political revolutions were there. The worldwide, some the great revolution was taken place in the worldwide. The era of revolution, the 18th and 19th centuries and 20th century also, worldwide more revolts, revolutions, political revolutions were taking place in the worldwide. Like American War of Independence. American War of Independence was in the 1776 to 1783. American War of Independence was done. And 1789, French Revolution was taken place in the against their dictatorship type of rule in the France. Then Russia Revolution was in the 20th century, and China Revolution in the 20th century. So this during that period only in India also 1857 revolt and Indian national movement also, we can say that like Gandhi and other uh, nationalist leaders, they take a part in the, they inspired the worldwide world how was going on the revolts that is affected on Indian leaders also. That's why in India also 20th century they inspired to fight against the British rule. So like that, the era of revolution we can say, the age of revolution we can call as a 18th century, 19th century, and 20th century. These three 18th, 19th, 20th centuries are called as the era of revolts and revolution. So you know that one country was going on in the national movement that is affected on another country also. Political factors, leadership and inspiration, ideas, political ideas will be affected on another country also. That's why first we're going to once briefly explain about the American War of Independence. From the 1776 to 1783 between 18th century, first revolution was done in the American in USA. So at the United States of America, we can say that means the colonies, the British colonies. In 1492, Columbus and Amerigo Vespucci, the both were take a part into discovery of the American continent to the introduced to the world. There are more effects. They are the sailors, navigators who send that Portugal, Spain and Portugal king and Henry sent to some groups to the worldwide to search the new sea routes. The part of that Columbus was discovered American continent, and Amerigo Vespucci also there in that to uh, take a part in the American that regions they finding to introduce the world. That's why Amerigo Vespucci and Columbus first they introduced the discover of a sea route to America, and that about American region they give first introduce to the world what is America, where is America, how the which region it is located. First introduced to the world by Amerigo Vespucci and Columbus. So after the sea routes discovered after more the America till 15th, 16th century only, it's a powerful country at that time also England. The England Puritans means they are the one of the group in the Christian they were Protestant Reformation time Puritans. I said as the last class who revolted church against church policies. Who revolted? They are called as the Puritans in England, Calvinists in French, and Huguenots in French, Martin Lutheranists. I said that. So in England, who fight against the church? Protestants. That Christian religion in one group. It's Puritans. That Puritans are they settled in America. Actually, the Native Americans were they are Red Indians, Pygmies, Red Indians, the Native Americans actually, but they are in the black color, who are lived in America. But the Puritans who came from England, that England people, they came, number of people, number of traders. At that time, religious Reformation movement's time in England also that affected the Reformation movement between the Roman Catholics and Protestants fight between each other, some conspiracy, some of the difficulties were there in England. That's why Puritans, one group of Christians, they came and settled in America. That Puritans were settled in America, and in America, lands, agriculture, trade, and some markets they controlled by Puritans. So the most of the these all England people are settled in America. They settled in America, and they came in 16th and 17th century. Britain Puritans they came and settled in America. So when they came and settled in America, the Red Indians who were actual Americans, Red Indians, they are went to the deep interior parts of forests because they are innocent, uneducated. That's why when the England Puritans came and settled in America, that actual Native Americans are the Red Indians. They are went to forests. So that open lands, agriculture farms, trade, markets, these all will be controlled by Puritans. Now, the England who came from England, they settled in America. But after 100 and 150 years after, again these Puritans only they fight against British their authority, against their authority. Means actual that Puritans are they settled, they build houses and they build markets, their stability of in the income wealth the good wealth they are gaining, good profit they are getting in America colonies, like 13 colonies, Philadelphia, Carolina, and Massachusetts, New York, many Georgia, like this 13 cities, 13 cities it's called as a colonies. 13 cities are they controlled by Britain, traders. So these traders are again these all the 13 colonies are ruled by under the British Parliament. What are the acts are because like India also before 1947, what laws we are followed, whatever the laws and made by the British Parliament, that is automatically including to the in India. In the same way, who are settled in America, this Britain people, they are also followed Britain Parliament rules and regulations. So acts, revenue acts and economical acts and trade markets, everything, taxes, everything is declared by the Britain Parliament. That blindly they have to pay the taxes by the Americans, like who settled there. Native Americans they went to forests, but all lands are now who is controlling the Puritans, like American England people who settled there. These settlers only after 100 years and after 150 years later again fought for full freedom against the British. So actually they are also settlers, but settlers after 100 years what will happen? They become a natives. That's why finally, who settled in America? They're all settlers and colonies are unitedly, like some of the great leaders in America, Thomas Jefferson and Thomas Paine, John Adams, and Livingston. These all are the national leaders of colonies. They lead the movement. So Americans, why they opposed the British authority? Why they are opposed to British authority? Because of they are also British people only who settled there, but tax unnecessarily they are declaring they are imposing the many type of taxes. Tax system, which is very very crucial role played by in the part of American independence war. So tax system and some laws. The 18th century only heavy taxation and anti-people actions. What was done by the British in America, that people are revolted against them. Like India, how they fight for freedom against the British. Same way, in 18th century, the Americans were they declared the revolts and rebellions against the British. First, the American War of Independence. During that time, King George III was a king of Britain. Some controversy between Parliament and uh, king. So in England, one controversy is there between the differences between their difficulties were there between Parliament members and king. The king is completely is agree the monarchy and dictatorship type of rule, but Parliament members are some democratical way, some welfare of the people. So authority of the Parliament to making laws, the king is a main role. So because that is the kingship, not democracy. Democracy not there at the time. So completely, king was a crucial role, but parliament also there, like a House of Commons and House of Lords. In Britain, parliament in British parliament is a two-house, dual-house system. You know that already in political science also you will get the lesson. The mother of parliamentary system in the world, England. England is a mother of parliamentary system. Entire in the world, the parliamentary system was first imposed in England. Means the members of the representatives they have to discuss to making the law procedure and to decision making, law making, policy making will be done by the parliament. But against parliament, parliament is under the control of king. That king was there. Elizabeth, Victoria, and some King George III. During the time of King George III, American War of Independence were done. King George III Parliament between he want to impose the taxes on Americans. So some laws, the British imperial system, they strongly opposed because during that time, between in the world, England and France, the enemy countries both. Wherever you go, they have to fight each other. England and France. You know the Indian history also, and during that third and the you studied already in third and fourth sem colonial period. England, France also indirectly in India they fight each other. They done wars like Anglo-French wars were there, Mysore wars, Karnataka wars, Maratha wars done in India. But behind behind the this war, England is there and French is there. Okay, worldwide wherever go they are enemies both. Okay, England and France. Here also England, French, both are each are quarreling each other, fighting each other. So in the French, Americans mostly some laws there, some of the acts and laws are there in 1754 and 64 between England and French wars, and some laws, major taxes of trade, taxes imposing on many tax type of taxes on traders. So the Americans are they did not agree to pay the taxes. And one more thing, what are the laws and acts are making by the British Parliament? The Americans what they are saying to give a representation shipped to the Americans in the British Parliament. Then only we have to follow the Britain rules and regulations. So the Britain laws, they are following the Americans because Britain is a superior authority on all American states, American colonies. So these all traders and merchants are, they did not want to pay the taxes, imposing taxes by the British Parliament, but Americans not there in the Britain Parliament. So give a chance to representationship to Americans. That's why without no taxation, without representation. It is a slogan of American independence war. So it's very, very important slogan. No taxation without representation. No taxation without representation. It is given by the national leaders of Americans like Thomas Paine, Thomas Jefferson. They given no taxation. We won't pay any kind of taxes to the British Parliament unless until you should provide a representationship in the British Parliament for Americans. Americans also they participate the parliament activities. The Britain is not given chance them. So if you not give a chance to as a representation in the British Parliament, we won't pay any kind of taxes. That is a slogan. No taxation without representation. This is the main slogan. So some acts I will tell that major taxes are first Sugar Act, the Stamp Act in 1765, the Sugar Act in 1764, and the Townshend Act and Boston Massacre, the Tea Act, Boston Tea Party, these all are there. So the Sugar Act, you see, what is the Sugar Act? Sugar cane, the molasses. At the during the this American independence time, Americans are these traders are they purchase the molasses, which is maize, sugar, and jaggery. That molasses, Cuba, Venezuela, and Latin American countries. Latin American countries are they are selling to Americans. France also selling to Americans. So the Britain is what they are saying. Without my permission, you should not buy any product from other countries. The strictly guided by Britain to the American traders. The traders of America should not buy any goods, any products from outside without my permission. Means England permission. Because England is a ruling country in America. That's why the American traders they suffered a lot. Many problems they faced because the whatever the if Americans they want to purchase any product, they have to get permission from Britain, and they want to sell any product for others. For this also they have to take permission from Britain. Whether you purchase goods or you sell any product, that market business permission should be required from the Britain, and Britain is giving very less amount for their product than France and Canada and some other countries. They give more high price for the products. That's why they secretly they have to buy from other countries or sell to other countries. Here, for example, in India also that only happened in India also. Indian goods and at the during the British period, all they followed the strictly trade. Raw materials they have to take and go to England by England people. Cotton is produced, for example, good example in India. Cotton producing in India at the time, cotton production. This cotton is exporting to as a raw materials taken by England to in London. Again, making the clothes and dresses and what are the making material. Again, that material is sold to Indians. because here the production is not there in India at that time, where they are getting raw material from ours only for less price, very less price they purchase from Indian farmers. Again, they making the product for a high price, selling to Indians only at that time again. So we are cheated by Britain at that time. All the raw material is taken by the from India only. From India, raw material only they are making the goods. Again, they are selling to for high price to Indians. It's the same way in Britain. In America, Britain also same method. So here, uh, traders Sugar Act, French and India during at that time, England French is enemies both. So French is indirectly supporting to the Americans because earlier between England and France some wars was done. In that wars French was defeated by England. Political reasons were there. French was defeated by England. The French country France is waiting for revenge on England because England actually the Americans some places are French colonies were also there in the during that Canada and some of the surrounding of America. Some places are ruling by the French. But when the England was came, England and French participated wars. In that war, French was defeated, and French places all are again they occupied by the Britain. They get angry, waiting for revenge on England. So England and France, the enemies both are. So France was defeated. France defeated by England. Again waiting for chance. They waiting for revenge. So this time Americans are fighting for freedom against Britain. So Americans they get supported from France. Okay. So here enemy's enemy was to become a friend. Enemy's enemy to be was become a friend. It's a Chanakya Niti. You know that in the Telugu in our political science. So when enemy is a powerful, what will happen? What will do the one? Both our enemies are there. One is enemy is very powerful. He search for the to defeat the opponent, gather the power. Who was his enemy? He has to make a friendship with him. So same way here also between England and Americans, national movement of each other, freedom fight movement is going on. Already defeated country with England, French is supported to Americans to getting freedom. Behind France is given the full support to the Americans to defeat the England to get into freedom to the Americans. So it is a old revenge. That's why here the first Sugar Act, sugar trade, molasses, sugarcane crop, they're imported from others. That is 1764. Next, 1765, the legal documents, Stamp Act. This act was done in the British Parliament, but implementing in America. Okay, Stamp Act, according to Stamp Act, like you know that the bond papers and stamps, revenue stamps, what are they? This stamp introduced. So these legal stamps for that newspapers, notes, and paying cards and documents, legal documents, all are must be. This stamp is required. So according to Stamp Act in 1765, British Parliament is issued these all stamps to in America. Whatever the business agreements and land agreements, assets, properties agreements, who are doing that activities, they must be purchase this bond and again they have to take permission from the Britain. So Stamp Act. So whatever the people are doing economical activity, businesses, relations, everything is on the bond paper or document. So the document should While purchasing only they have to ask the reason why, which purpose we are buying the bond paper. So according to that, forcibly forcibly stamps and documents are releasing by the Britain Parliament. That act is implemented in the Americans because they are without permission only they are secretly doing business with France to regularize the market, to regularize the permission, to regularize the business. They they have to legal documents. Stamps were introduced by the Britain. So this is strongly opposed. Sugar Act, according to Sugar Act, molasses, sugar, jaggery, that they should not buy from others. They have to buy from India, England only. Here, according to this, whatever the business and economical activity, market activity, business that is doing by the Americans, they should take permission from Britain and use the legal stamp which is introduced by Britain. So if you use that stamp, automatically Britain Parliament, Britain government should know what is the economic activity. So they are with Canada, with France, with Cuba. Business relations are they have to leaving the business relations because of this stamps, because the British government is not giving permission to do business with other countries. They have to do only with England to regularize, to control the foreign other country market in America. They that policy they have to taken. Next, Townshend. Townshend is one of officer in Britain. Townshend Act 1767 after Quartering Act. According to this Townshend Act, one is Quartering Act. Assembly was not allowed to pass any more laws until the colony complied with the act. So, quartering means any England person, England merchant, he has right to settle. He had to set up resident in any colony. 13 colonies are there total. America at that time doing 13 colonies, 13 cities. In the 13 cities, British people anytime they can reside, they can set up their build their own houses in any colony. Quartering Act to live permanently in America. So this according to this act, more and more British people are coming to America and settle there. Quartering Act, Townshend Act, according to Townshend Act or Quartering Act, same only, to set up their residence in any colony. They they are already the people, most of people they settled. Again, they are inviting to more and more England people to come and settle in America. This is don't want to native people again. So more and more is coming means again what will happen? Already natural resources, lands, properties controlling by the Britain people, collapsing the native wealth. So that's why here the Sons of Liberty, John Adams, they gave slogan Sons of Liberty, one revolutionary organization. John Adams, national leader of America, he was set up that organization. No taxation without representation. So these all acts are against Americans for the capturing all the business and trade, the capturing agriculture. You know that in America, cotton, sugarcane, rubber, producing tobacco, and these are the major crops at that time. Big agriculture sector, big agriculture farmlands, haciendas like in South America, thousands of acres of land is to become a one estate. Estate. That estate means the farmland. Britain people they settle in America, North America, and some of South American countries also there, and they capture the land and use African slaves to producing the crops. Forcibly, they purchase slaves from Africa. At that time, slave trade also there. Slave trade. Slaves means who are the bonded laborers, innocent people, uneducated, mostly available now in Africa. In Africa, in ships, through the ship, lakhs of thousands of slaves are forcibly they purchase from slave trade in Africa and taken go to American agriculture lands. Forcibly, they are doing agriculture activities by the slaves. Okay, so they like that the American lands all are controlling by the Britain traders. So tobacco, sugarcane, cotton, and rubber, some agriculture crops, wheat, major crops, jute, wheat. These all crops are some hundreds of acres they are cultivating. And jute industry, textile industry is a major industry at that time. So this all trade was under the control of Britain. But the Britain people imposing the different type of taxes on traders and merchants. That's why the traders are there strongly opposed. They don't want to pay the tax without representation. Next, during that time, coffee and tea is a major production. Tea, many thousands of acres, hundreds of acres of land is cultivating the tea gardens in America. So that time, uh, this is exporting to the Britain. Tea was exporting tea leaves. What is we are taking the tea every day that the milk with the tea. Tea is a major production in America. Tea gardens were the tea leaves gardens were there. This tea was in ships, some hundreds of boxes they filled and taken it to England. Again, that is a sale to other countries. England is a mediator. The tea production, coffee, tobacco, these all are exporting from America to England. The England is again sold to other countries to getting more profit. Like it is a trade. It's like India also same like that. In Indian products also same. For lower prices they are purchasing from India. Again, for higher prices, England is selling to other countries. That was done. Same in America also like that only. So tea, one of the incident was in 1770. One major incidents one done in the Boston shipyard in America. Loaded ship, some 140, 130 boxes of tea leaves and tea powder. What is it to take and go to that England? They fill it with all boxes. Will fill it with the tea powder and the tea leaves. That big ship is going to England. So forcibly they are selling to. They are American farmers are getting very less price from England, but France and other countries are they purchasing the tea leaves from American farmers. They're getting more profit. But England is not accepting the foreign countries trade in America. You don't sell to other countries without my permission. Do not sell to American products to other countries. So forcibly, this is America only uh, that ship filling with that all. It is going to London. So from England to this tea leaves and tea powder filled with all hundreds of boxes and one ship is there. Sons of Liberty, one of it's very important. Sons of Liberty, revolutionary organization which is done revolutionary activities against Britain. So these all that ship is belongs to England. Forcibly, they don't want to purchase that tea powder, tea leaves from others, and Britain ship the tea powder boxes. What are there in that hundreds of boxes? All is uh, low with Atlantic Ocean. That all boxes is breakdown and that it is fell down. It is throwing on that all boxes, tea powder boxes are, tea leaves boxes are, which is belongs to Britain. American national leaders, fighters, agitators, they break down all these boxes and throwing into the Atlantic Ocean. Some crores of money was wasted because the Britain Americans are they are fighting against British for freedom. In that time, forcibly they are doing business with Americans. They get angry. American national leaders they get angry. Sons of Liberty members. These all tea powder boxes. What are there in the ship? Britain ship. It's a breakdown and all will fell down. It's throwing on the Atlantic Ocean. So Britain country is angry on this incident. This is called as a Boston Tea Party in 1773 was taken place. Boston Tea Party means all that which is filled with boxes, hundreds of boxes are there in ship. Everything that boxes break down by national patriots of America. Like in India also some violent Swadesh movement and revolutionaries, some Indian leaders are killing to Britain people. So many was done. Same way, the Americans are they get angry on Britain activities, and their ship was break by the national leaders, and the ship boxes, tea filled tea powder boxes, all will be break and to fell and throw on the Atlantic Ocean. So they get a huge loss to the Britain. Again, they send a huge army to control uh, this American agitators. So here only this incident on a Boston Tea Party issue was it. Sometime last time asked this question for as a short question. Boston Tea Party. Boston Tea Party means this is Britain ship which is filled with all tea powder boxes. It is break and that powder will be thrown on the Atlantic Ocean by Americans because between the part of national movement violence was done. So after these incidents, Britain people, Britain soldiers, army, huge army came. The firing started. Some people, some soldiers, and some of the agitators, national leaders are killed by England army. So again, the Philadelphia Continental Congress was done. Meetings conducted. Massachusetts, Philadelphia, Georgia, Carolina, and New York. These all leaders are they conducted meeting. Again, under the leadership of George Washington, they built army. Here, what was miracle was done? Who was working as a soldiers in British Army? Some American people are some thousands of soldiers for livelihood. American citizens they are working as a soldiers in British Army. So here Americans are fighting for freedom. So that soldiers are finally who are working for British government. They joined with the American national leaders, which is helpful to because for salary, for livelihood, for surviving their life, they working as a soldiers in the British Army. Some thousands of people. But during this time, finally, that all soldiers are joined with India, American people. They are also helping to the national leaders to fight against the British. So actually, that army is sent by Britain. The Britain to control this all national freedom fighting, what is going on, activities going on in the in America. To controlling this movement, the sending army, but army should join it with Americans. Again, they strongly fight to against the British. These are soldiers and American citizens. So, who are the leaders of this Declaration of Independence 1776? They declared, and 1783 completed that freedom. Thomas Paine, George Washington, some of the national leaders. So you have to American War of Independence, military hostilities, and continental congresses. Philadelphia Continental, First Continental, Second Continental, Third Continental. The meetings were conducted by national leaders of America. Okay. So like this, Thomas Paine, he written one book, Thomas Sense, Common Sense, about administration, some of the intellectuality. So Declaration of Independence, or like this American War of Independence in 1776 to 1783 done. First, the Constitution in the world was written by Thomas Jefferson, who drafted the American Constitution. Largest constitution, no, first constitution, first written constitution in the world. First written constitution in the world, America. That is done in the 1783. They got independence, the written constitution. Earlier, there is no written constitution. All are the traditional constitutions were there. Okay, so like this, American War of Independence was done. The next, French Revolution also took place in the 1789. 1789. So Treaty of Paris done between England and France. The leftover the all England people from America. So here one thing you have to observe, who got supported from France and soldiers. American citizens, they got supported by French army. During that time, 14th Louis is a king of France. He gave full support economically, army, weapons, and transported vehicles, all sent by 14th Louis to American citizens to to take a revenge on England. So here the freedom is required for Americans. The freedom is needed for Americans. But France is waiting for revenge. Take a revenge on England. So here, America, with the support of French, with the support of France government, France king, and with the support of British army also, who are Americans were there, that army people, soldiers, and also French army and American citizens. The three, they are collectively fight against the British. They get independence in the 1783. They completed. So that is a like American War of Independence. It's a essay question will come. It's a very important for American War of Independence. Boston Tea Party, Philadelphia Congress, and Thomas Paine short questions. It is American independence. How was done? Okay. Next, French Revolution was there. Another topic. French Revolution. This is different from America. French Revolution is 1789. 1789. The French is different from America. French, here Americans are the fight against British people. You remember one thing. Americans are fight for independence against the British. But in French 1789. In French, what type of government is there? Kingdom, kings. French is ruling by Bourbon dynasty. Louis. French is ruling by the Louis 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18. 18th Louis. The revolution was taken place during the time of 18th Louis. 18th Louis. So here the people of French fight against their own country kings only. You understand the difference between America independence and French independence, French movement, French Revolution. In America, they fight for Americans are fight against the British for get independence. But French is getting freedom, democratical government they want. They are fight for their own country, their kings only. They belongs to France only. Okay, in 1789. So, what is the causes for the French Revolution? The briefly I am explaining that. First, the French society was divided as a three groups. Three groups. One is nobles and clergies and nobles, and third is common people. The French in the French country, in the France, the people of France is a three category, three groups were there. First is a clergies, second is a nobles, third is a common people. Clergies mean religious priestess, like a church, pastors, fathers, bishops, who are the religious officials, religious activities doing that, like the church, they are called as a clergies. Second group is a nobles, royal families, kings, ex-kings, and the kings' families and their relatives and all the landlords who supported to that king. Clergies, nobles. Third is common people. Third common people is a like employees, servants, farmers, laborers, teachers, lawyers, educators. These all group merchants, all comes under the common people. Okay. Here one thing you have to observe: the French Parliament, Estate General. Estate General is a French Parliament. That Parliament is here the clergy group and noble groups, common people. Three groups members were there in the French Parliament. There also French Parliament is there. Against Parliament, again, the Parliament is under the control of King. Parliament is under the control of King. So these three groups, clergies, nobles, and common people. Clergies and nobles are the exempted from all type of taxes. Exempted from paying of taxes, first two groups. Have you understand? Clergies and nobles are, they need not to pay any kind of tax to the French government. The taxes should pay only third group. The third group is the common people, farmers, laborers, slaves, educators, employees who working as a servants, doctors, lawyers, teachers, all community comes under merchants also. The taxes only one group they have to pay, third group. The highest 85 to 90% of the people are third group, common people. But only 10 to 15% of the people, clergies and nobles. So clergies and nobles are the enjoying all type of privileges, facilities are enjoying without paying any kind of taxes. But all pain, sufferings from third group. This third group people only thought that to fight against their king, to change the policy. All are equal. That's why equality, the main slogan of the French Revolution. It's very, very important. equality, fraternity, and liberty. Equality, fraternity, and liberty. Equal, all are equal. Why they exempted the above two groups for the from paying the taxes? All are paying. In the who are living in the country, they should everyone has a responsibility to paying the tax to the uh, government. So, king's family, royal families, no need to pay any kind of taxes. And religious officials, clergies and nobles are two groups are exempted from the taxes. So here again the started the revolt against kings from the common people. The common people are they thought that's to um, fight against the kings to change the policy. All are equality. Equality slogan generated in this French Revolution movement. French Revolution only. An American Revolution slogan is no taxation without representation. But the French Revolution slogan is equality, fraternity, and liberty. Means nothing but freedom. Liberty means freedom. So that is a like a third group. Here some intellectuals also they written some books. Montesquieu, Voltaire, Rousseau. Already in the political science also you'll get this all the philosophers. Their books are given lot of inspiration to the French people to fight against their king. Okay, Montesquieu, The Spirit of Laws, he written. Voltaire, he also written about the church domination and religious people domination on the people. Rousseau, he also social contract theory, and so like this, the French Revolution, 1789 was done. The leaders of this Jacobin groups, some groups, revolts were there. Estate General meeting, abolition of feudalism, and some financial crisis also there cause for the French Revolution. Financial causes means I told you in French Revolution, American government are get supported from the France. Money, vehicles, transportation, weapons, soldiers are sending by the France to the American citizens for the supporting of American citizens to defeat the England. Okay, in American War of Independence, to the Americans, French is a big support given. Due to that support, huge loss get to the economy of French. Money was expended money, weapons, soldiers, time, lot of missiles, everything is. That's why economy was empty of French. Financial crisis was generated in the French. Hello? Okay. Financial crisis was done in the, it's one of the reason. Economically, very loss to the French government. So, what is the French government thought that to increase the taxes on the common people? For the increase of taxes, they conducted the parliament session. Estate General. Estate General is a parliament of French. So in Estate General, the common people are they strongly opposed to increase the taxes because all taxes are paying by the common people. So if you impose the taxes, all people should pay, nobles and clergies and everything. That's why equality. Okay. Now, so 2:33 time is over. This French Revolution and another topic we go into another lesson. I will brief you. If you have any doubts, you can ask later. So take my number, and if you have any doubts, you can ask me later that.
Tell me, sir.
Okay, 9440
1 minute.
9440 124 581. 9440 124 581. This is my number
9440
for 581.
581.
Yes. So, in
Okay.
majorly, if you while reading, you can have any doubts. Some I will tell you. One more class is there. You already offline class also you listen. Na?
Hello.
Offline classes three already over. This is online now three, offline three. They decided. Offline three already completed. I think so. Your which center they're already provided.
Yes, sir. Completed, sir.
Okay. If you read thoroughly, any doubts you can. If you have any, you can ask me later. That.
Okay, sir.
Okay.